my channel. I am Anushka, and in this video I also have a guest with me. She is Anjali Joshi, who will be speaking about her debut novel Raptor Rising. Now, Raptor Rising is a thriller about an unknown alpha female serial killer who's bold, seductive, and extremely skilled. She uses a different technique, an unusual one, to kill all her targets who are celebrities, and that is a snuff kill. She wants all her murders to express her art. This is a book which is fast paced, and if you want to know more about this book and the story as well, then keep on watching this video because Anjali and I will be speaking a lot about this book. Also, wait till the end because towards the end you can stand a chance to win this book as well. So if you want to know the rules or the things you need to do to win this book and read this one as well, then watch this video till the end. And yeah, with that said, let's just get started. Hi Anjali, so welcome to Wise with Grace, where we talk about books and everything related to books. And I'm so glad to have you here on my channel. First of all, because you've written this book, I really want to know what about you. So would you like to introduce yourself on my channel for my viewers?
Hi Anushka, good to be here, and a little bit about myself. I am a filmmaker by profession. I'm a 3D holography expert, and writing is something that I have been doing for a very long time as an associate writer for scripts, screenplays and dialogues. So this was the first story that I decided to write as a novel and publish. So can you hear some noises? That's the peacock in my neighborhood. I'm sorry, you'll keep hearing him in between. I can't do anything about him.
No, that's sweet. That's sweet. That's like Indian vibe to our video.
So that's how I started writing, and it was a story that was thought about almost a decade ago. And over the years, whilst other projects and other work went on, I kept developing it, and it became my debut novel.
So I really liked it, and I've told you this. I like the pacing, first of all. I like the story, how it evolved, how everything turned out in the ending. But the first thing that I want to talk about with you and discuss with you is this line. The first line of the blurb, and that is, "Death was her art. Would he be her first masterpiece?" This was like, I was taken aback with this line, and I truly feel like after reading this book as well, I felt like the protagonist herself is so feisty, she's so unflinching and unapologetic. I was truly, motivated, not just motivated, I got a lot of power from her, from this character. To be unapologetic about things, to be, strong, to be brave, to be bold. So how did this idea come into your mind of creating a character like such, in India especially?
Okay, now a character is born out of many disjointed concepts and feelings and experiences that one has, and that is how this particular character was born. It's an alpha female killer. She could, from one perspective, she's a nutcase, from another, she's an assassin, from another, she's a soldier, she's all these things. And violence is a part of her. There's a whole lot of other things. She's not the normal psychopath as you keep seeing the Ted Bundy varieties, or she's none of those. She is extremely skilled, and every kill that she goes into, her victim is always a person who is either her match or usually more than her match. And we're talking about a woman who is using sex as a tool to kill. That itself is something that is very bold. So usually story में क्या होता है, it's like oh, this person is like that because this happened to him or this happened to her. So there's always a sob story or a side story which tries to explain everything about a character which is otherwise normally perceived as black or grey, if you like. There is no white, black or grey in the story. Everybody is just the way they are, and they make no bones about it. So that's how the character was conceived, to be unapologetic, to be relentless, and just to be herself. I think that's very empowering.
So let's just discuss about how you actually, put together this ecosystem of this book, because that was really interesting to me to read. There were a lot of things in this, 200-page book. There was a lot, be it this island space or be it this film setup and everything that was there. So how did you come up with this?
See, in terms of, I draw a lot of energy from where I position a particular part of the story. The story starts in exclusive island in the Indian Ocean, and then it ends under the shadows of the volcano in on the island of Hawaii. And volcanoes always hold a deep fascination for me, because it's like you peek into the it's like a peek into the heart of the earth. And up on the crust, everything is beautiful, everything is still, everything is just in place. And just a few kilometers under our feet, there is this brewing, bubbling, whole different world that you and I are standing on right now as we talk. And that is something that is super fascinating. And those are beautiful storytelling tools to have. So that's how I have I went into every character's depth, not through description, not by devoting pages to it or going into deep discussions, but by going sharply, precisely at a vulnerable point in the character's development, and pulling out so much, which I feel is part of the whole filmmaking exercise. That I come from a filmmaking background. There's something that we call a subtext over there, and that's what I try to imbibe into the characters in the book. It's a risky thing to do, because words are all you have, and if you don't use those words, how are you going to get the reader to understand what you're talking about? So that was a risk. It was a calculated risk. But now talking to you, I'm feeling the risk was worth it.
Yeah,
it seems totally. To have worked.
Totally. I mean, I have to tell you guys this as well. I completely binge read this book in 2 days. I'm not kidding. Though it was just like 200 pages, but every page was worth it. So I really want to talk about the pacing of this book. As you said, you don't like doing descriptions. You don't like going over and over about the story. So it was risky, of course, to not describe, because we at times as readers want to delve into the characters so deeply. But weren't you scared that if you would just write a fast-paced thriller, there are chances that it would miss out on some things?
After writing it, when I gave it to a few buddies of mine to read it, one of the response that I got is कि ये तो बहुत जल्दी जा रहा है, and हमें तो समझ में आ गया. I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. But will the readers understand it? And I think that's where we make a primary mistake, because today's reader from 20 to whatever is not the reader of the last century.
Yeah.
We belong to a world, we belong to a point of time in human history where not pages but characters are used. By characters I mean is how many characters are there on Twitter, and that's all it takes for governments to form and governments to break and people's lives to be made and broken. That's all it needs. We are a generation which is capable of filling in the gaps to an extent where it has never happened before.
Yeah.
So this is a generation which is capable of so much more. There's so much awareness, there's so much information, knowledge, there's such an expansion of imagination. And how can I spoon feed this generation? I mean, it's me not going into elaborate descriptions or not going into pages of describing the place or the emotion or the character is actually my way of respecting the reader. मेरे लिए 200 pages enough है to convey what I want to convey. And I do believe that for the reader also 200 pages is enough. I don't need to drag it into 400 and 500 pages. It doesn't mean that tomorrow I may not do it, but for this story, and the manner in which it had to unfold, that's all I
would love to read a book which is descriptive, which is written by you. I would really love to read how can you be a descriptive author?
See, as it is, everybody kept telling me that अरे ये book में तो double climax है, normally जहाँ पे story खत्म होती है, आपकी story वहाँ से take off फिर से कर रही है, तो I mean, is it okay if I speak in Hindi, because I tend to lapse into Hindi also. Okay.
I think we are comfortable, we are on that level, so I think viewers are also enjoying it. If you're sticking till here, then I know you're gonna like this video. So yeah, like कर दो जल्दी से जाके. This book is primarily for the youth. There were some topics and there were some things which you said in this book, which you described in this book, which I was like, okay, she is my type, like she is so cool. Be it a description about social media and some slangs here and there, descriptions of references here and there, or be it the dark web, or maybe seductiveness, about erotic romance. Everything was so up for the youth, for the coming age, present age people of ours. So what actually inspired you to write this book in this sense?
What you said is a very valid point. My language is very contemporary because
that's what I meant.
I have written about the characters are young. So if a character is young, I have to adapt the what the character says has to be in the language that the character is bound to speak in.
Yeah.
I cannot be conservative, or I cannot be what shall I say? I cannot have constraints on what the character will say and how the character will speak. I have to talk like the character. Again, I think this is something that has come because of a film background, because in a film, when you write dialogues, you write in terms of who the character is, the language, the intonations, the everything, how you break the grammar, how you make the grammar, everything is in terms of the character. But that rarely happens in a novel, because in a novel, people stick to a certain style, grammar, English, and they never break grammar for any character. I break grammar for for certain characters, not all the time, because all characters don't need it. But I do break grammar a lot, and I do shift. I shift the way I shift within the parameters of the language to define the character more. I do that. So tomorrow, if I'm writing about an 80-year-old, then I am going to write the language of an 80-year-old. I'm not going to say hi dude over there. I'm going to say whatever that Chaplin says.
ठीक है. And of course, I really want to know what kind of research you did while about writing this book, because there, of course, would have been some research behind the characters, behind the plot. About the lava thing as well.
Places have always left their impact on me. And I was 19 when I got my first job as an air hostess on an international airline.
Okay.
And after that, for 5 years, I traveled like hippie across the world. And every time there were specific places that I visited which kind of impacted me, and I always soaked in the personality of the place, just the way people have personalities. Cities have personalities, countryside has personality, and Hawaii was one place which really intrigued me. Okay. And volcanoes, like I said, do intrigue me. And it's natural. See, there is some things that you do as research, there's something that you explore because you genuinely feel an affinity towards it. So many of the things that are in the book are there because a natural interest, a natural affinity towards a particular subject or a place or a particular personality. everything in the book is fiction. Everything is fiction because I did check up on that. There has been no killing in this manner.
I'll believe you. If you're saying this, I will believe you, okay? I'm not questioning anything. But I feel as a reader, and I've heard this from authors as well, that there are a lot of things when people write book, they're inspired from their real life events. So, yeah. Is that it? Is that so? In your case?
See, it depends on every writer, I guess. There are some who draw from themselves and their personal experiences. There are some who feed off experiences or concepts or thoughts or of others around them, some knowingly, some unknowingly. So everybody has their own way of conceiving things. Where the concept comes from, where the idea comes from, where it is a mystery. You don't know where it is coming from. Yet there it just lands up in your unconscious and develops from there onwards and becomes this.
Yeah.
So for me, that part of the creation is like something that I'm in awe of.
This is totally random, okay? An idea came into my mind and I was like, let's do a rapid fire. So
Go ahead. Let's see what comes of it.
Your favorite author, of course.
My favorite author? My favorite author is a lady called Pearl Buck.
Okay.
She used to write in, she's a very well-known writer. She's no longer alive.
Okay.
And she used to write stories in English about the Orient, because a large part of her life was spent in the Orient. So that's one of my favorite writers.
Okay.
And of course, P.G. Wodehouse. I love.
Okay, next. No, just one. Just one. It's a rapid fire, remember? The next question. Next question. Your favorite book? I know there are several. I have several favorite of mine, but if you would like to choose just one at the top of your head right now.
Okay, my favorite book is a book of is a poetry in Sanskrit. It is 1,000 names of the goddess called the Sri Lalita Sahasranamam.
Okay, I'll definitely check that. Though my Sanskrit is not good at all. I used to hate it in school.
It doesn't need to be. It's a fantastic book with conceptually it is really mind blowing is what I feel. Every name that they have conjured up over there is like it's like a seed in your head. That seed that I'm talking about is that seed in your head which will make grow into 1,000 branches.
Cool.
Trust me on that.
Since you already mentioned that you like to travel a lot and you've already traveled a lot, so your favorite place, your favorite destination or your favorite place?
My favorite place, I have never seen the Northern Lights. So I want to go there to see the Northern Lights.
Me too.
And of course, the way things currently are, even a long drive feels like heaven.
Yeah.
But I would like to someday like to travel and see the Northern Lights.
Okay. Now, little fun. This thing just came into my head right now. Since you are talking about lockdown, the weirdest thing you did in this lockdown. Weirdest.
The weirdest thing that I did in the lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I did anything weird. To tell you honestly, I didn't lock down at all. I was working throughout. Yeah.
But how? How? I mean, film sets were closed. Everything was closed, I guess.
Yeah, but
shoots were banned now.
Yeah, shoots are banned, but shoot is like, just that part of filmmaking. There's a whole this side and that side, which gets ignored.
Now because you're a producer. That's why.
Yeah, since we got into production, since we started shooting in December, between the two so-called waves, the time before that was totally taken up by the creatives and the planning and stuff like that. So that's how time just flew, actually speaking.
Okay, last question.
And I started work on the sequel for Raptor Rising also.
Oh, will it be linked with this one or is it a new story?
Some of the characters will carry through, and some of the threads will carry through, but that's as far. Everything else will be completely.
You can tell
brand
me
new.
right now.
Everything will be new.
Last question. It is,
Yeah.
what would you choose as a profession? Like, which one you like more? As you said, you were an air hostess, a cabin crew, or being a producer, like in this production line.
Being an air hostess, at that age was fabulous. Because I got to travel, I got to do things which other people my age at that time could only dream of.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was serving tea and coffee, and no offense meant, but the job by itself, after some time, didn't grip me. Everything else did.
Okay.
But the job did not. I guess I had an inherent desire to do something creative, and it expanded. The whole my experience and exposure to some of the best art across the world that happened because of my traveling just opened up my mind in so many ways that it was inevitable that I shift out of that profession and get into something that was more creative. So that's how. I like what I'm doing. I truly love what I'm doing because I do a whole lot
That's
of
all
things.
that matters.
And
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay, I think this was such a great session. I truly enjoyed. I got to know a lot about not just the book because I've read it already, but about the story behind the book. I'm not sure. I mean, I totally would like you guys to read this book. And don't just say that you don't have the money to buy this book, because for that I have something for all you guys who are watching this, and that is a giveaway. 3 of you lucky winners will get a chance to win this book right here. This beautiful book. Can you look at the cover? I really love it. It's so attractive. So you have the chance to win this book. All you have to do is, please Anjali, could you tell the rules to these people for the giveaway?
Okay, there is no rule over here as such. There's just something that I'd really like to know, and I hope you guys take the trouble of telling me, is that what do you make of an alpha female character of this kind, an alpha female killer? Because it's not a character that you encounter very often, at least in fiction that comes out of India. So a couple of lines about that. You can make a video about it and post it in either of our accounts on Instagram, or I have a Facebook account also, and
just tag us
it
both.
as
Tag both of us. Use the hashtag Raptor Rising and do what she's.
Thing is, also what happens in a question like this, there is no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
Everybody is right.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
because that's your opinion and you're entitled to it, and you're entitled to express it in any words, in any manner you want to express it. So can we have like a lucky draw at the end of it?
I think that would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
So all of you can participate right now. Comment down below if you want to, and we would love to know about your thoughts. And don't forget to follow Anjali on her Instagram channel. The links to the channel to buy the book will be in the description box below, so don't forget to check it out. I'm sure you're gonna love reading this book. And Anjali, it was so great talking to you. I really enjoyed it. And do you have any last messages for my viewers? If you want to say anything about this book, anything, and let's just end this.
Oh, we've spoken enough about the book. I'd just like to say, live well, be happy. There's a lot going for you, and make the most of it.
Right. Okay, so that's it, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Till then, bye. Have a nice